We have Mrs. Church's 5th grade class as our learner group here with Bare Soil is Bad. I'm going to turn it over here to Grace and her assistant.
Hi guys, my name is Grace.
And I'm Jared.
And we are both graduate students at Virginia Tech, and we are part of Virginia Tech's STREAM team. So what we do at STREAM team here is we're a whole bunch of scientists that work together to study water and all types of water, everything that has to do with water. So personally, I study the frogs and the fish and the little critters that live in the stream, while my partner Jared here studies.
I studied the dirt that's around the stream. Actually, we're here today to talk about dirt. And you'll see before you, this is our main experiment. We have a couple different types of land cover. We've got bare soil. Maybe it's bad, maybe it's not. We've got mulch. We've got plants growing in the soil. And we're going to do that little demonstration for you. But first, I want to ask you, what is dirt? What is soil?
Basically, dirt is a bunch of rocks and other materials, all grinded down. And plants use the minerals and nutrition in the dirt to grow.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Dirt is a bunch of ground up stuff. And some of the stuff that's ground up is smaller, some of it's larger. The smaller stuff we call silt and clay. The larger stuff we call sand. And we're actually going to do a little pre-demonstration here to show you what is best for a stream, what's worse for a stream, for all these different types of dirt. So we've got 2 jars here.
This jar here is filled with sand, okay? And remember, sand is a bigger particle, where this jar here is filled with clay and silt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour water into each of these to simulate rain.
Yep. And so this is the silt and clay jar. We're going to pour water into that one. And now we're going to put the lids on both these jars. And we're going to shake them up.
All right. So can you guys see the difference in the water? So if you were a fish, which stream would you want to live in? Would you want to live in this one, number 1, or this one, number 2?
Number 1.
Number 1, exactly. It's clearer. There's less stuff floating around. So number 1, that was the stream with just sand. And number 2 was the stream with the silt and the clay.
You can see it's still cloudy, and it will be this way for many hours and possibly days. That's why we really care about all the different stuff that goes into our waterways, into our streams, because it can be there for a really long time, and we don't want this in our streams hurting our fish. What we're going to do is we're going to make a rainstorm. We're going to use this watering can to pour rain directly onto the bare dirt, bare soil. We're going to pour it onto soil that's been covered with mulch. This is straw. You can find that at any hardware store. And then we're gonna pour it onto dirt that has a bunch of plants growing in it. And
so the way we're going to measure how, the best type of soil cover is we have these jars here. And we're going to look at the color of the water that comes out of each of these boxes, okay? So remember, if the water comes out clear, that's good, that's healthy, we want that. But if it comes out dirty, that's bad, we don't want that.
Yeah, we do not want dirty water going into our stream.
Which do you think is going to have the dirtiest water? So how many votes do we have for bare soil, for the dirtiest water? A whole bunch of people, perfect. How many people think the mulch is going to be the dirtiest water? No one? What about the plants? How many people think that's going to be the dirtiest water? None? All right, well, let's see if you guys are right.
Yeah.
All right, Jared, you want to make it rain?
Let's make it rain. You want to do lightning and thunder?
Lightning, woo! Boom! Crash, thunder, boom!
So we're pouring an equal amount of water onto each.
We're raining, it's raining.
We're raining, and
perfect.
If you can look over in this bare soil one, you can see it's actually, oh, we're getting water coming out. It's actually ponding up, it's flooding these tubs, and the water is actually starting to come out.
All right, so here's the water that came out of the mulch. See that? All right, look at the water coming out of the bare soil. Get a little, whoa!
Oh man, that's not good.
All right, so now we're gonna compare the three. This is the runoff from the bare soil. Gross, right? Looks like chocolate milk.
I wouldn't want to live in this water if I was a fish.
Next we have the mulch. We can see it's pretty clear. It's still a little dirty.
Yeah, a little bit, a little.
But when we look at the plant cover, look how clear that is. I would swim in that if I were a fish.
I'd drink that.
So you guys guessed correctly. Bare soil had the dirtiest water.
Yeah, definitely. And so I want to ask y'all, why do you think that the bare soil had the dirtiest water?
Well, the bare soil basically it came out dirty because there was nothing holding it down, so it was like soaking into the water, or it came with it.
Yeah, that is exactly right. Yeah. So so the rain, you have to remember, rain falls from tens of thousands of feet in the air, and when it comes down, it hits hard. And so if there's nothing there to protect the dirt, the soil, then it's gonna really break apart the clods, the little pieces of soil, and it's gonna make them all come out and run off and come into our streams. But like you said, the straw really blunts that impact. It really protects the soil. So it hits the straw and then it sort of filters through it and goes and infiltrates through the soil. And in the planted one, like you said, we have roots holding the soil, which is really good because it holds it down and it keeps the soil from floating away. And we have another thing to think about is the plant leaves up top, because that acts like mulch. It acts like mulch. It prevents that force from the rain from hitting the soil. It protects it. It's like a shield.
So I want you guys to imagine again that you're a fish, okay? And you're living in a stream. What do you want the land cover near your stream to look like? Do you want it to be bare soil all around the stream? Do you want it to be covered in mulch, or do you want it to be covered with plants? Plants, exactly.
Exactly. So why do we have mulch? Why do we need mulch? Well, sometimes like in a construction site or in a farm, you don't have time, or you don't have plants, you don't have seeds to put plants there. So the best thing you can do in that instance is to layer it over with a thick layer of straw mulch. That is the best thing to do until you can get plants to grow there again. So long-term, plants are the best cover. Let's see.
But ultimately, bare soil is
really bad.
Bad. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what got you interested in this topic and some subjects that you were interested in when you were in, say, 5th grade?
Yeah. So when I was in 5th grade, we had someone from 4-H. Do you guys know what 4-H is? It's an agricultural organization. They came in and they had us grow bean sprouts. And I was just really fascinated with it. And it began a lifelong love for gardening. So actually the soil you see here is from our organic community garden that we've started here at Virginia Tech. And I got into gardening in around, I would say 5th grade, 6th grade or something like that. And that's really what motivated me to become a soil scientist. That's what I call myself.
Yeah, so I've always loved fish. They're my favorite animal. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I have a fish shirt on. Yes, and I, always loved playing in the streams and river where I grew up. So I really love the animals that live in the streams, and I want to do everything I can do to protect them. So that's why I study them.
Can you both also talk about what jobs you might be hoping to get after you graduate?
Yeah.
Or what some different options might be for you to do professionally?
Yeah, so I want to be a professor at a school, at a college, and continue to teach college students but also be able to do research and continue studying, you know, fish and frogs and streams in general. So that's my career path, a professor.
Yeah. I want to work with farmers to make sure that they're really producing a lot of food, but also protecting the environment while they do it. So, you know, one of those things is keeping the soil covered. A lot of other things is just using less fertilizers and stuff. So I guess I would be a soil scientist, and I work with the NRCS, which is a government agency. That really helps farmers protect their environments.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah,
Thank
of course.
you.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you all so much. We had a great
Yes.
time doing this.
Thank you, Mrs. Church's fifth grade class, for coming, and also thank you, Bare Soil is Bad, for your very self-explanatory exhibit title and for teaching us that bare soil is bad.